Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bunk and Pick podcast. Pick here with Big Bunk.
This is New York Yankee Bunk, ready for the baseball season. We're going to talk football first.
That was, you wrote off the football season very
I know,
quickly
I'm
now.
ready for baseball, man. I love my baseball.
It's still football going on.
I like the, I'm happy for the playoffs. I like that. I'm getting excited about it. Did I say Amma?
You said,
I'm getting excited about baseball.
I am too. There's going to be some, we'll get to it, but
We'll get to it. We are going to talk a little baseball today.
it feels like a lot of the same from last year.
I know. I'm sure hoping so. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you want to lose in the World Series?
You know
again,
what I'm saying? I'm talking Yankees here.
Would
people.
you like to lose in the...
No, I don't want to lose. I want to get there, though. I want to be there.
All right,
I think we're going to be. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be
There's
there.
a team in Tampa playing at Steinbrenner Field this year that might have something to say.
And then the got Oakland playing on a high school field or something. So we're all good.
They're playing.
Come on, man.
All right. Well, hey, there are some big football games going on, though. Before we get into baseball, I know that pitchers and catchers report real soon.
Yep.
We are in the throes of NFL postseason, as well as a championship game in college football tonight.
It is, and it's not our Texas Longhorns.
It's not
But
not our Longhorns.
We did have some good NFL games. So we should start with the NFL.
We absolutely should. But before we do that, I have a cooking question for you.
I like this. Is it about the pontoon?
No, the pontoon's disgusting.
Wait. I made pontoon sauce, as you know.
I know. This shout out to Uncle George's hot wiener sauce.
I made it.
It looked rough, man. What was flavor wise? Give us a breakdown.
Well,
give us a breakdown of
I'll
the
just
flavor.
give a little ingredient. Says you take some hot dogs, boil them, and you grind them up. You grind those up with some onion.
It's 1930s canned food because there's no fresh food
then
anywhere.
You put some ground meat together and some spices, and it wasn't quite Uncle George's.
How many hot dogs did it go on? Did you eat it? Did you eat it?
I did eat it. You ate it on 2 hot dogs. No, wait. I only ate it on 1 hot dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You tried it on one hot dog.
I put it on a couple of hamburgers. Check that out. Yeah.
Dogs and hamburgers.
It wasn't that good, man.
Did you make some French fries to go with it as well?
I did put it on French fries, too. I forgot about that.
You're gross.
It was...
Anytime I looked at that recipe and it said boil and grind hot dogs, I went, I'm never making this.
How was that, though? I ground them.
This.
I had the grinder going and stuff. It was pretty cool, man.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
All right. What cooking question do you have?
All right, here's a cooking question for you, because I'm more on the fancy side of cooking. I don't know these game day meal type things like pontoons. You know, I live an elevated life in the culinary world.
We call it a fancy Dan.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Richard.
Is there a difference? Okay. So for the Super Bowl, when you think of Super Bowl foods, what pops to into your mind?
Finger food stuff.
Like?
Nachos, chips, like a nice charcuterie. Wings.
Okay.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs, hamburger. All right. So is there a difference? This is a serious question. Is there a difference between what people make for the college football national championship and the Super Bowl? Is there a different style, or I guess different foods within the style of sports party foods?
You know, you don't really see much about the CFP stuff. It's just, I think people are...
Because you tailgate it, right?
I guess you tailgate it, and then... I don't know if you're at home. I don't know. It's not like doesn't seem like as big an event where you have like parties and
Depends
stuff.
on if your team is in it.
I guess it would. I mean, here in Texas, right? We would maybe
do barbecue,
Texas,
right?
We'd barbecue.
Right?
Maybe it's regional.
Okay, but you'd barbecue. But then you go into the Super Bowl and everybody's doing the same thing.
Not barbecuing for the Super Bowl.
It's like wings.
It is wings
dips
and stuff like that.
That's something to think about there, Bunk.
It is something to think about.
My elevated palate just can't comprehend.
I will say this, though. I believe you can slide pontoons into either of those, though.
Don't talk about sliding pontoons into anything.
With or without Uncle George's hot wiener sauce.
Oh, God, that's really bad
man.
word choice there.
I tried it.
Don't talk about sliding in the pontoon with George's wiener sauce.
Oh, God.
Yes, exactly.
Oh boy, and that is a New York thing. Just in case you guys.
It is. The story behind it is there's a hot dog restaurant, and the sweatiest, hairiest human being lines up these hot dogs on his arm and puts the hot wiener sauce on top of the hot dog.
He did. That was the old days. I mean, they're probably a little bit, but yeah, the old days. You loved it. You sat at the counter. He threw about 6 hot dogs and buns
on his arm,
sweaty, hairy arm.
Oh my God!
While he was sweating profusely, he lathered it up with some mustard and some wiener sauce, and you loved them.
Diced onions?
It's all in the wiener sauce. Come on, brother.
Oh, come on! But you're not gonna fresh diced onions is so much on top of the hot dog.
No, hot dog, mustard, wiener sauce.
This is captivating conversation we're having.
And I tried to recreate it outside of the sweaty arm and stuff. It didn't quite come out.
It's just too cold to have the sweaty arm here in Austin.
It is. It was too cold and it didn't come out. I tried, man. I actually have some left over. You're welcome to take home today if you'd like. If not, I'm going to dump it.
If you give it to me, I'm going to throw it away when I get home. I'm not trying it.
I'm dumping it too. I saved it as like a memory, but now it's
I understand. I'm glad you got to invoke that memory.
I did. It was fun process, and it sucked. I'm not going to lie. I tried to make believe it. Mrs. Bunk even knew I wasn't she goes, that's not very good, huh? No, not really.
No. Well, how about this? Shout out to the listeners. If you notice a difference in the food between the college national championship game and the Super Bowl, what are the differences? What are some foods you make for both? We'd love to hear about it.
That would be an interesting thing. Very good.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Well, that segues us into, depending on who you like, some either great football games or some absolutely pathetic football games.
Okay, it's 50-50 for me this weekend.
All right. We have to recap on one game that set up a game this week that we watched that happened after we recorded last week, and that's Minnesota Vikings absolutely shitting the bed.
They played horrible, man.
What the hell happened there?
I know Darnold's getting a bunch of the stuff. Their defense didn't play good either.
No.
They just overall played horribly. And
very bad.
That was, that was an ugly game.
That was a very ugly game.
That was not even a close game, sadly. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, they looked like hot ass.
I think Darnold lost about 20 to 30 million.
Okay, well, no. I don't know if he did. Maybe 20. So they're saying he's still $30+ million a year quarterback.
He might. I mean, I'm not blaming him. I'm gonna tell you something. The line didn't hold. Defense sucked. They just overall didn't play well. So I don't know you can blame him for anything, but they will. But I don't think you can blame him.
He took a long time in the pocket.
He did.
He didn't help himself very much.
He didn't look good. He was running scared.
The running backs didn't help him very much either.
No, they didn't play good, man. I don't know what else
just
to say.
Overall, they played tight, and they looked like a team that wasn't ready for the playoffs.
Then they weren't the only ones. We'll talk about some
They
of
were
the
not
others,
the only ones.
But you are correct. They did not look like... the last game they played of the season against Detroit, they didn't look good. And then they followed it up with a real shitter here.
Like a real stinker, you would say.
Really dirted it.
They dirted Georgia's hot wiener
dirted
sauce,
it up there. They dirted the field. Dirtied it with Georgia's hot wiener sauce.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It was bad. That was really bad.
It was pretty horrific. I can't disagree.
All right, the team that they beat goes to New England to Philadelphia, plays really well until snow hits the ground, and then they shit the bed.
Yeah, I
thought the Rams had that game.
I will say this: the Rams played really good, and Stafford played really good, but it came down to the end. They had a shot.
It did.
And even in the snow, I think obviously it was snowing like crazy. It definitely affected both teams. But the defense from Philly didn't appear to be as strong as they had been in the past. I don't know. It was a good game. Really don't like Philly. I was really
Saquon. I mean, the backbreaker was Saquon hitting that second big run. That second big touchdown run was like, that's it.
That was let's face it, he beat him. 2 long touchdown runs.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts didn't. I'm sorry, man. He doesn't do shit back there.
But he didn't have to.
I know, but he doesn't do shit. At some point, he's going to have to.
I mean, he had a very long touchdown run.
He did, but he's a quarterback, and he needs to be thrown. But he didn't have hardly any yards. He doesn't. I don't know.
All right.
To me, he's just you could stick anybody back there with that running game and probably win that game.
I don't know if you saw stats or anything for that game at all, but Hurts had 128 yards passing.
Okay.
It's every team they're going to play from here on out is going to make Jalen Hurts beat them.
Yeah.
They're not going to let Saquon. They're going to stack the box. They're going to go one-on-one on the outside. But they have good receivers. Philadelphia has amazing receivers.
They do. They're going to score. And,
they are.
And Saquon's going to do his thing. He's going to break one or two. He beat him. He himself beat him. I mean, those runs were
back-breaking.
That was it. And even at that, the Rams still had a shot at coming back.
They did. He had over 200 again on the Rams. That's twice he did that. Saquon, man, he just put the team on. Honestly, for 28, and the Rams had a chance at the end still.
Yep.
I see some chinks in the armor there for Philly for sure. Are they going to clean it up? They got a pretty big game this week with Washington.
They do, and they have 6 sacks yesterday, I think?
Yeah.
I mean, they got back to him. They put a lot of pressure on him. They had the safety.
To be fair, it was snowing and frozen.
It was snowing. It was snowing for both teams. I mean, come on, they're Eagles. They fly high, Boomer would say.
You've been on the I attack Boomer train for 3 weeks now.
I know.
It's all the text messages he
pissing
sends
me
on
off
the
because
side.
they keep winning. They were supposed to lose. They were supposed to get beat.
It's text message memes. He doesn't even have to say words to you. It's great. I can feel your anger.
I don't like it, man. I know. I knew there. You know what? When it came down to the end, I thought the Rams were at the last drive. I thought, okay, they're moving the ball, but when he got sacked, and that was it. Then it's like fourth down. You're not making a 4th and 11 on the Eagles at that point.
No,
not way down there.
No, you're not. I mean, honestly, most teams are not doing that.
Yeah,
on the NFL.
They're protecting against that. I do want to make a point about the Eagles before
I knew you were going to do it.
Saquon did say he actually did want to go for the record. And it was the organization that asked him not to, that didn't want him to do it. And so he did come out and say, I don't want to get too much credit because I actually did want to go for the record. And it was, he wanted to do for him, for the linemen. And why they would not let him play, I'm still going to say that's a shit organization for not doing that. Sorry, Boom.
Injury risk and your best player not in the playoffs. I can understand where the organization comes from there.
I can't.
When Barry Sanders was running, were they sinking this much money into players? No, but they're protecting their assets.
He could have got 100 yards in one friggin' half against the Giants.
Yes, he could have.
Probably.
Absolutely.
The Giants are horrid.
They're so bad.
Anyway, I just wanted to clarify. Just clarifying that, hey, you know what? They made it out to be, it was not his decision. He was ready to go for it. So.
While he was saying that, he still had a smile on his face because he wasn't in New York.
I know. And Boomer's text to me thanking New York for him was pissing me off.
The real MVP this year. Boomer said the real MVP was the New York Giants.
Yeah, bastard. That is brutal, man.
I loved it.
No, I didn't like it.
It makes me laugh.
Me no likey.
While I was in my COVID ward over there in my house, I was dying laughing.
Yeah, I know you stayed out of the whole mix.
I watched you guys bicker. It's fun for me.
I know. I was really hoping to get one last good text in there, but I went quiet. I went dark on that one.
You had to because they
bastards.
Now, looking forward, okay, the team they're going to play. They're going to play the Commanders, who absolutely demolished the Lions on offense.
Here's the thing with the Lions. I think that their defense finally gave in.
Too many hurt players, man.
Because I'd have to look. I think the Commanders only punted like one time. They literally
scored
could
45.
They could not stop them.
Punted one time. No,
I mean I don't care what they're. Of course, I love how everybody's on the Jared Goff bandwagon when he's winning. And then, he throws a couple of picks and stuff.
They're shitting on him.
And they're shitting on him.
Yeah.
But you need to look at the other side of that is it didn't matter what he did. They couldn't stop the Commanders. No stopping at all. It was horrible.
To be fair, he had 3 picks.
He had 3 picks. Well, I mean, a couple were desperation.
Yeah.
And no, he definitely. And then they had a
shit ton of yards.
Stupid ass trick. What the hell?
Yeah.
That trick. Come on, man. A trick play? You're the Lions.
Yeah. Well, they've been doing that all year, though.
I know, but that was a shitty trick play. I don't know.
They've been doing it all year.
It honestly didn't matter. They could not stop them at all. Jaden Daniels he's good. So they've played the Eagles twice this year. They know it, and their defense looks. I gotta say, the Commanders they look good, man.
They still gave up 31, but to the best offense in the league this year.
But I mean, they gave up. The only scary part is they gave up big runs to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Well, everybody gave up big runs to Jahmyr Gibbs this year, though.
I know, but now they're facing Saquon. But they've faced him twice. It's not like they haven't seen him before.
I mean, you stack the box, and they got Marshawn Lattimore out there, who's a veteran. Some of the non-penalty calls this week, hopefully that carries over, because they were kind of letting players play.
Yeah, they did in that game. In that game, they did.
So, yes. So that was nice. Hopefully that carries over, and we see that in this next game. But Washington is very good, but there are definitely, you can see holes on that team.
I don't know. Boom, be ready for Tex. I'm a Commander fan. I'd really like to see them have a better.
You're just going to keep shooting yourself in the foot, though.
They need to have a better helmet or some mascot or something. The Commanders didn't do it for me, but I'm on board now. I'm getting my W hat.
All right, you're saying Washington wins?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course you are.
I'll tell you, well, they have a good defense.
They do have a good defense.
I'll even give you a score.
Give me a score.
28-24. Commanders.
Oh, okay. That's closer than I thought you would do.
The Commanders.
The Eagles are going to win that game.
Oh, God, they're not flying. We clip them this week, boys.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Oh, my God. I'm not going to say that.
All right, we clip them.
I mean, if I was to throw a score out there, Jaden Daniels is going to score.
He is.
But they are not going to stop Saquon.
They'll get 24 points, and the Commanders will get 28. I stand by it.
I'll say 21-17. I'm going to say Eagles win 21-17.
Commanders score more than 17. Against that vaunted Eagle defense.
We'll see.
All right. Sirianno screwed up somehow. I can't stand them.
You're talking like you're hoping
Don't
and
like
not
them.
knowing.
Hate them. I'm going to sail a pontoon in there and have a talk to him.
Oh, God.
With the wiener sauce.
Don't talk to him with your wiener sauce. That's how you go to jail and we don't have a podcast anymore.
Ouch.
All right. Next up.
Which one are we going?
All right, we're gonna do Ravens Bills first because
let's do it. Ravens Bills.
I've got some things I want to talk about the Chiefs that pissed me off. So we'll get to that in a second.
Ravens Bills. What a game.
Woo!
Ravens got beat.
What do you think the text messages and the direct messages Mark Andrews getting are like right now? Holy shit.
He's getting shit. However, Lamar had 2 turnovers. He had a fumble and an interception.
Lamar did have 2 turnovers.
That didn't help him either.
No.
And honestly, the Bills could have played better on offense.
Yes.
So maybe it's not even that close at the end.
I think it would be that close. Both teams
are pretty even. I mean, they are even. The Ravens do have a good defense. The Bills actually had a better defense than I thought.
Good defense. They played good defense this game.
But when you have Derrick Henry, who's an absolute friggin' monster, how do you not run him on 2 times when you're going for 2 points? He needs friggin' 2 yards.
Yep.
He's unstoppable. I mean, you can't stop the guy for 2 yards. That's so stupid. So you can give the Mark Andrews thing and blah, blah, blah. But here's the other thing. They didn't even throw to any wide receivers.
They didn't throw.
They threw to Mark Andrews 100
They
times.
lost them.
I know, but
they had no wide receivers left. Bateman was out. Flowers was out. They have no. You have to throw to your tight end.
So you're throwing the tight end. He's running up and down the field 100 times,
and then you have to hit him again at the end.
And it wasn't the greatest throw at the end. Let's be honest.
It hit his hands though. You're an NFL player. It hits your hands. You got to catch it.
Cold. He was tired, and he knew I didn't want him to win. He came through for me. I'm going to send him a text message to thank him.
Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of Bills fans that already did that.
And all it would have done is tied it. So let's be honest. That wasn't winning the game.
It would have tied it. It would have tied it, but no time left. They would have gone into extra time.
And I still think the Bills would have won. I mean, Josh Allen's an animal when it's up there in Buffalo.
It is. It looked brutally cold, that game.
It looked pretty cold. Pretty darn cold. I like the outcome. I'm with you.
why are you not giving? If Saquon wasn't around, that's the best running back in the league this year, right?
Oh,
Saquon was just
amazing,
an animal this year.
I actually think they didn't give Derrick Henry the ball enough.
They needed to feed him more
in the second. I mean, in the
third
quarter,
yes,
he was pumping out the yards, and then they just stopped.
They stopped giving him the ball because they played catch up. They were playing catch up instead of just playing their game.
The dude breaks off 20, 30-yard runs like it's nothing.
Right.
So, you know what? Bad coaching.
I'm with you. That was a bad play call.
I thought it was a bad play call.
At the end, bad play call. I get it. Your superstar is Lamar Jackson. You're trying to put in his hands, but if you're going to put in his hands, let him run.
Let him run. Let him run.
Him or Henry, run the ball.
Both those guys have a better chance than when you throw a pass. A million things can go wrong. If he just keeps the ball, I mean, he could maybe get in. He could. I just think it was bad play calling.
I'm with you.
No,
I'm with you.
But I'm happy.
I know you are. I know you're happy. All right. All right. That's set up a massive game coming up. But I really want to bitch a little bit about some officiating bullshit that's going on for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I got to tell you, dude, there are some unbelievably funny memes out there.
The one where he was literally standing on the field asking the other team to hit him. The other team wasn't hitting him. Like, holy shit, dude, because they're so afraid to hit him.
There's some good stuff, man. There's some great stuff. I like the ones where it's the refs that are dressed up with the Chiefs, the things that people have out there. There's some good shit out there. Those were some shitty calls.
Though it's not even the one on the sideline.
No,
it's the one that was in the middle of the field where he just stood there.
I know.
It's like, come on, man. What is it turning into? And if you're Patrick Mahomes, shit, they're not calling it. I'd do the same thing. I don't blame him.
He's taking a lot of heat, but I
don't blame him either. You're playing to win.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, I think they win either way, personally, but yeah, that was a bad look.
That was some hot garbage.
And the Chiefs, you know what? I know they keep winning, and we've been saying this all season. They're just not. I mean, Kelsey basically was their whole receiving game.
He was.
And they're going to have a tough game against the Bills. And they play in KC.
See, my thing is, though, I think over the span of the full year, the Texans' defense was a much better defense than the Bills' defense.
The Texans did have a good defense.
So the game opens up more and turns into more of a shootout, which... If it turns into a shootout, my money goes to Kansas City because they have the better defense.
They could. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's. I will say that the Texans did have a good defense, and Mahomes he has some plays out of his ass though.
He always does.
I know, like falling down, touchdown throw.
But what are you supposed to? All you can do is clap for him. I mean, you can't do anything.
I'm not a hater. I like the guy, but Jesus. He does keep doing it. You can't really bet against him. I really, really like to see the Bills go to the Super Bowl, though.
That would be cool. It would be good to see him. But if the refs are not going to call, if they're going to let Mahomes do that shit in this game too, then Kansas City,
after the heat they just got,
they're going to do it. They've been doing it all year.
They took a lot of heat this time, though.
If I was the opposing coach, I would tell my players, crush him. I don't care if he's out of bounds. Hit him hard. One time.
Yeah, he does
take the penalty.
He does do the out of bounds.
Take the penalty. That's one time.
I agree. That's some shit.
Send a message, set a tone. Because that sucks, man. It's bad. It's bad for football. What is showing? We're seeing it now trickle down into college, and all these fucking college players are doing it, which trickles down into high school, which even more people, and they're going to start teaching it out of the lowest level of football. Why?
I'm not arguing with you.
It just makes me angry.
I know. I can tell you're angry. But look at it this way. At the end of the day, we're going to have a Bills Commanders Super Bowl. And that's really all that matters.
You're hoping.
No, but I'm firm on it.
In all reality, we're going to have a Kansas City and friggin' Eagles Super Bowl.
I don't think so.
And I think the Eagles smack Kansas City if they get there.
I'll never be able to live it down if that happens.
No, but tell me how the only fight back you have about the friggin' Chiefs winning it is they have Patrick Mahomes. There's no other argument. Their numbers are terrible.
I know, but they win. They
win.
And they held.
They have Patrick Mahomes.
The
They
Texans
have Andy
scored
Reid.
14 points. And Stroud's a good quarterback, and they had a pretty good offense going. I don't know. Bills Commanders. I'm going to say Bills Chiefs. Let me give you I'm going to look into my crystal pontoon, as we call it.
Oh.
I'm going to the crystal pontoon, and I'm going to say Bills 35, Chiefs 27.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I did it.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
You're having the Bills score 35 on that defense?
I am.
That's not
Gotta
happening.
do it. Yeah, I did it. I just did it.
27-24. Kansas
Bills?
City.
Oh, that's messed up, man.
Harrison Butter's field goal at the end.
Yeah, he actually doesn't miss. He doesn't
I know.
miss.
He misses on his takes in life, but, other than that.
He doesn't. And there were some, let's just say this, there were some shitty field goal kicker guys.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Also, it was like Jake Elliott was hitting just line drives because nobody could feel their hands.
Yeah, no, but geez, man.
There
All
was
right.
some bad kicking.
So you're predicting Super Bowl, Eagles, Chiefs.
Eagles, Chiefs.
And I'm going Bills, the Commanders.
Yes.
All right, we'll see who wins.
The Command Skins.
The Command Skins. I like them.
Okay. In your
Bills.
hypothetical
Bills.
world, Bills would win that
Bills.
game. Yeah.
Bills. Yeah.
What about Bills, Eagles?
Bills.
And okay, take the colors and where the teams are from. Just look at the rosters.
I think Josh Allen can win the Super Bowl. That's the only reason I've always picked the Bills. I think he's good enough and he can come through in the clutch.
But if Cook isn't running, James Cook isn't running, they got no.
He runs.
He does. He has to be everything. That's 2 more games in a row. He
I
has
think
to
he
do
can.
that.
He's a man. He's a big man. He's a biggin.
Oh my
He can
God.
do it.
I just don't. I want them to prove me wrong. I don't want the Eagles in the Super Bowl either.
Oh, Boomer, did you hear that?
Yeah, Boomer knows. I'm not going to hate on them, though. I just don't like Sirianni.
I think the Eagles have a much harder game, in all honesty, against the Commanders because Commanders have seen them twice. And I think they know them than the Bills against the Chiefs. I think the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs without it coming down to the last play.
Oh, man. This
Yep.
is a fucking hot.
That's a hot one.
That's Uncle George's hot wiener sauce takes
I
over
floated
here, my
the
friend.
pontoon in on you, baby.
Those are some hot wiener takes over there. God.
That's the
That's
bet.
great. You're crazy.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens.
You're crazy.
Okay. We do have great expertise analysis on this show.
Yeah,
so.
we have we're wrong like 80% of the time, so it works out perfectly.
I love it.
I love it too. All right. Anything else on the NFL, my friend?
Oh man,
Where does Sam Darnold go?
the Darnolator.
Did they re-sign him?
You know, I don't know how good JJ McCarthy is. I don't think anybody does.
Think about it this way. Think about it this way. We just saw Kirk Cousins go with O'Connell.
Yep.
Okay. Is it system that's making quarterbacks look good, or is it the quarterback themselves? Because we saw what's his face leave there, Kirk Cousins leave there, and he looks like he'd never played football
He does.
before.
I still think he has a good year or two left in him. I think they re-signed Darnold. And that's my opinion. And look, let's be honest. Darnold was going to be a backup this year regardless. He just happened to be thrust into the...
I know, but you're going to pay him $30+ million
I don't
to
think they're
stay
going to pay
there?
him $30 million.
He's not going to stay then because he's going to command $30+ million.
I don't know, man. I don't see that happening. I don't think it's going to be a big field for him out there.
Think about all the teams that need a quarterback.
There's a lot of teams that need a quarterback, but I don't think he's the guy in most instances.
This year
I think
he was.
Stayed. He was. Well, he was till he
Until the
wasn't.
last 2 games.
He was till he wasn't. I think he stays in Minnesota in whatever capacity. Maybe he starts. McCarthy can still sit behind him for a year, but I don't think he's not a long-term guy for anybody. I don't think.
I think the pressure to put McCarthy in is too much. I think McCarthy starts next year.
Good. Could be. It's going to be a
think
lot of
Darnold's
quarterback. All these teams a lot of teams need quarterbacks, so there could be a lot of movement.
Hot take.
And now they're trying to trade friggin' coaches. I mean, I know they've
I
done that
saw
in the
that
past,
too.
but
Yes.
the hell. Well, let's talk about Dallas. McCarthy not coming back, right?
Which is good for McCarthy.
And then as soon as I told you it was bullshit about Deion Sanders, and he comes out.
I've told you it's not
He's
bullshit.
not going to be the guy, though. He's not going to be the guy. Or are they going to trade Dak Prescott so they can hit his son there? They would, maybe, but...
Yeah, they would. It's Jerry Jones.
It's not going to be Deion. It's going to be Kellen Moore, I think, coming back home.
See, I think it's going to be
Not
Glenn.
Jason Witten.
I think it's going to be Glenn. Aaron Glenn is going to get a big job.
He is. I think. I don't know. Who would want to work for that freaking guy though?
For who? Aaron Glenn?
No, for
Jerry Jones. I wouldn't. But Deion. That's what I'm saying. It makes sense for Deion.
Loves him.
They have a great relationship.
Gee, what a surprise!
And Jerry, by the end of it, they'll have a bad relationship.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
It's flashy. It's exactly what Jerry Jones likes.
He does. He'll put people in the seat.
He shot himself in the foot because they 100% didn't think they were going to be searching for a coach. They thought they could ride this out. McCarthy would want to stay there.
I know.
And McCarthy straight up said,
"Good for him.
Fuck off. I'm out."
He told him to stick it, and he'll end up in a good job. I'm waiting for my Jets to hire somebody, man.
Yeah.
Who are we going with? Rex Ryan?
I don't know.
We doing the Ryanator?
Ben Johnson?
I mean, somebody's got to want to go there. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
They have no
nothing.
quarterback, and they don't have a high.
They don't have a
draft pick.
roster.
They have not. Well, they have a good defense, and they do have some skill guys.
I guess you've got Breece Hall, you've got Wilson on the outside.
They have good players, but they have no quarterback, and they have no draft position to get.
Here's what they need to do: get a quarterback that doesn't to immediately look at Devontae Adams on everything.
God. That was so gross.
It was never. That's all he did.
And please, Jets, don't get Sam Darnold. God, he's already tried it. He's already been there in New York.
Here's my secret hot take for where Darnold ends up.
Where's that?
Tennessee Titans.
That would probably be a good match for him. I think for the way they play, that would probably be good.
I think they're going to move on from Levis.
They'll probably, I don't know, move on. They'll keep him, but
I mean, he's 3 years in, right?
Yeah, he's not the guy. And there's no quarterbacks right now coming out. And, we got Ewers to decide to come out.
Yeah, sit behind somebody.
But he's not,
He needs to go to the Rams and sit behind Matthew Stafford.
That would be a good move.
That would be perfect for him.
That would be a good move because I don't think, who do they have? They have Stetson Bennett still out there?
They have nobody. No, I don't even think he stepped away from football activities like 2 years ago or something.
The Benedict. I don't know who they have.
Yeah. I don't know.
That'd be fun to watch. All right.
Well, no, I'm very intrigued on who Dallas will. Man, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
No, it doesn't.
Unless they get like a somebody for that whole system to actually work. They need someone with the balls to tell Jerry Jones to shut the fuck up, and that was Jimmy Johnson. And it was 1 year or 2 years. And it
didn't work.
It didn't.
And they were big buddies too in college.
That's what I'm saying.
Still didn't work.
It needs somebody. Yeah. Somebody needs to be able to step up to them if they want to win more playoff games.
Good roster, good quarterback. I mean, it's a great situation except for the owner.
Well, the roster is about to be garbage. You sunk so much money into two players, and you're telling me they're not going to give Micah Parsons money? Come on,
got to give Micah Parsons money.
Okay, so you're sinking over $100 million on three players.
Well.
What are you going to do for the other 19?
They still have a good ride. They have enough talent to do something. They just don't. So I don't know. Maybe Deion can go there. I'm not a Dallas fan, so that would probably be my best scenario for him.
Yeah, I would.
He's put his kickstand down, though, brother. Okay. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he said that and then said, "Yeah, I've talked to him."
I know he's such an ass.
He also. It's just a help segue into college because he's also demanding more money for NIL, and Colorado won't give it to him.
Yeah, and plus he has his own show on Tubi, that Tubi station.
Oh my God, I saw that.
I didn't even know that existed.
Apparently, he had like an Amazon Prime documentary while he was the Jackson State coach when they were cutting off his toes. He was like, dude, more power to him, man. He's making the money. But
honestly, he annoys the hell out of me. But yeah, I give him a lot of credit for making money.
He's making the money, but how much does he actually fucking care about being the coach?
Not as much as he claims.
Because you wouldn't be doing that much reality TV bullshit.
No. I think he has it written in all his contracts that he can do all this other shit. And I would want a coach who's going to be a coach. personally, but
Absolutely. And if he goes to the NFL, he's not doing that stuff.
no, I don't think so. And he probably won't even make
Unless
as much
he goes
money.
to the Cowboys.
He
Then
can make
Jerry will let him do whatever the fuck he
can make as
wants.
much money in freaking college you can pros. So
I don't know about that.
let's move on.
All right. So looking at, as we record, the game is tonight. Big game
College
tonight.
football
We
playoffs.
have Ohio State.
And my Notre Dame.
Oh,
Fighting
wow.
Irish.
That's changed.
I've always
Changed
been
teams.
a Notre Dame guy.
And Bevo's Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yep.
Which is hilarious that his nickname is Bevo. And
Yeah, that's true. But I've always been a Fighting Irish guy. I don't think they can win. Like to think
No.
they can.
Get to Will. Texas showed you how to have Will Howard will make mistakes if you get to him.
Yeah.
Get to Will Howard and you'll be fine. Problem is,
I don't think they can.
Notre Dame's defensive front is not like Texas'
No.
defensive front.
I think I don't think it's gonna be a blowout by any means, but I don't think it's gonna be like I think it's gonna be a comfortable win.
I sadly think it's over quick. They're going to get out just like they did against Oregon, just like they did against Tennessee.
Maybe.
They're going to score quick in the first, and it's going to be over.
It could. I hope it doesn't. I think it stays fairly close through 2 or 3 quarters, but I don't think at the end I think we can all go to bed early on this one. Unfortunately. And I would love to see Notre Dame prove me wrong, but
I mean, that's who I am pulling for now.
oh yeah. I mean, I'm not an Ohio State fan.
No.
I don't like them, but
Unapologetically don't like Ohio State.
I just don't. I'm looking at this. Ohio State's just too strong right now. I don't see them losing in this game.
Okay. So, past this game then, if you're looking at hypothetically, come out, Ryan Day wins it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does he make the jump to the NFL? Because there's rumors.
Man, I mean, are these NFL guys actually waiting for these coaches?
Yeah.
I mean, Sark just signed a 7-year deal, so he basically
because
said,
the
"I'm not
NFL
going."
was trying to talk to him.
which is great for him because he leveraged that. until he-
$10.6 million a year.
Yeah, so he did well.
Yeah.
I don't. If I'm Ryan Day, all the shit he
takes
I don't
so
like
much
him,
shit.
but he takes a lot of
I'd
shit.
get the hell out of there.
I think it. To me, I would probably leave. He could probably write his own ticket at this point to wherever he wants to go.
Yeah, want to go coach college? Find a college. There's college programs that would take him.
I don't know if I was him that I wouldn't tell him to stick it after I won.
After all the shit because they're even talking now. Yeah, he might win, but it's an asterisk to the national. It's a fucking national championship.
To me, it's that job is it's a tough job, man.
If you don't beat Michigan, they hate you.
If I was him, I would win this game and move on and tell him to stick it. But you know what? I don't know if he does that or not. I would. It's too much. He can't make him happy there. And I don't even like the dude, but he can't make him happy. I mean,
here's my thought. If that does happen, Chip Kelly ends up being the coach in Ohio State.
Yeah, that's probably correct. The Chipper.
Right, that would make sense.
Chipper Shredder.
If Marcus Freeman wins it.
Oh, they love him at Notre Dame.
I know, but
he loves it there.
Everything okay. If Notre Dame wins it, here's a scenario.
Yeah.
And these are all hypotheticals, so most likely won't happen. But Notre Dame wins it. Ryan Day still moves on. What's Marcus Freeman's alma mater?
I don't know. Whatever.
Ohio State.
Oh, he'd be a fool to leave Notre Dame for that. I'm sure they're paying him
Why?
very well at Notre Dame.
Why?
Because the job at Ohio State's just not a great job.
Yeah, but if at Ohio State you're going to get better recruits, you are.
But you have no leeway to lose anything. He lost 2 games this year and is getting absolutely crushed. If Notre Dame lose 2 games, it's not.
He's
that
getting
bad.
crushed because he has the amount of money they spent on that roster.
Well, I know
That's what they're getting
but
crushed
that's not
about. But they
changing.
also lost to Michigan 4 years in a row.
And so a national championship doesn't trump that. It doesn't.
That's what their fans
Sadly,
are
it
not
doesn't.
saying. They're
So,
saying that's not.
I think I don't think that dude leaves Notre Dame. He's in a really good position right now.
But thinking about Notre Dame, recruiting there is hard. You're in a very cold, middle of nowhere Indiana, right? Everybody you recruit has to have a religious proper religious background. Or you go to Ohio State and get whoever the fuck you want.
I know, but I mean, I still don't think he goes anywhere. I just don't see it.
They're going to have to give him a lot of money then.
I agree. But Notre Dame is still a very desirable school for kids to go to. Always has been. It's got a lot of history. If you look on their roster, they have a lot of like people whose dads played in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I get that completely. But I also academically, it's hard. So you're not getting everybody. What you have to go through to get them to enroll at Notre Dame, there's a lot more than anywhere else.
But they I don't know. I would not see him leaving. I do think Ryan Day, if I was him, I would leave. He makes a lot of money where he's at, but it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. And I sadly don't think Notre Dame can beat him. I'd love to see them prove me wrong.
I'm in like the 34-14 to 34-17 range.
Unfortunately, you're probably about right. That's kind of I don't think it's going to be like I said, I think you can go ahead and pack it up towards the fourth quarter and go on, leave it, turn it off.
I hope we're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too. I'd love to see it change, but that would be if Notre Dame can do that, if they could win that would be a huge upset.
Yes.
And then I think Ryan Day leaves. If they lose,
oh man, he won't leave. He'll run out of town.
Probably not even going to go back home.
Which is sad,
plane.
Man.
It is sad, but it's what comes with that. He makes a lot of money. So
all right, will we finally see the mascara run on his face though?
God, I know the old painted on beard. It's got to be fake, man.
I'm waiting for the Rudy Giuliani sweat trickle. That's
it's got
hair product.
It's just weird, isn't it?
It's so jet black.
It's not right. Something wrong.
Do you think he goes just for men or gets it professionally done? Do you think he's quiet about it or he goes to a salon?
If you just look at it, he just throws some gray in there, dude. Make it look right. It's not right. He's got something wrong with it. That alone makes me want him to lose. No, I'm just kidding.
Brutal.
Yeah. It's gonna be an okay game for a little while, maybe. It's either gonna be a blowout quick or it's gonna be not a blowout quick and a blowout late. I just don't see it staying close.
Yeah, I just think Ohio State's just you keep looking at it and you just don't I don't see a path. Riley Leonard run game maybe. But they're going to have to grind the game into very slow.
They have to
very,
hold the ball.
Very slow game.
The only chance they have is to hold on to the ball, win the time of possession, so Ohio State doesn't have the ball as much.
Don't let Ohio State score if they get the ball first. That's number one.
That would be helpful too.
Because once they score, they get going, and it's hard to stop them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm rooting for Notre Dame. I'll have my Notre Dame hat on. But I don't think they're going to win.
All right. Well, hey, looking forward to next year in college football.
Yes.
I was looking at Heisman odds. How unfair is this shit?
Is it Arch Manning?
He's like 2 or 3 in Heisman odds right now.
And also read where they said like all the NFL scouts think he's going to play 1 year and be gone because he's like their highest. He's played like 4 games or some shit. I love Arch Manning, but come on, man.
He needs time.
Luckily, he has a family support system that's not stupid. They have money, right. So he's not. It's not like he needs the money, and I think they'll give him the right guidance. So all this other shit's going to be ridiculous, man.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of weird things going on because the Archmania shit is taking over.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to be him.
Well, I wouldn't. Sadly, it overshadowed a quarterback that brought Texas out of a very dark place for a very long time. Numbers wise is number 3 on almost every number behind Colt McCoy and Vince Young.
Yep.
So it's like, I get that because Arch is coming in, nobody's giving Quinn his flowers, but
somebody was willing to give him his flowers. So evidently he had offers for like $6 million.
It came out. You know who?
No.
Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia.
Oh my God.
So they all 3 supposedly offered him $6 million.
So let me ask you. So I think that's probably true. So let me ask you on Georgia. So you're the kid who just stepped in on right? You've been sitting behind.
He's not starting there next year.
No, but I'm just saying you've been sitting behind Carson Beck. You came in, you played in the game. You know, he's okay. And then you see that, you know, looking to offer this dude $6 million. I would tell him to F off immediately. I don't know why
he wasn't going to play.
Portal.
They redshirted a 5-star behind him anyways. Like that's who's going to start next year.
He's not bad. He needs the portal. He could go play somewhere else.
I think he's out of eligibility, Gunnar Stockton.
No, I don't know.
He was like 4th or 5th year.
Well, I was surprised that Quinn didn't take the money, to be honest with you. I thought I
have a lot of respect for that. He straight up said, my whole life I wanted to come to Texas. I'm not going to go anywhere else.
Which is cool. And let's be honest, he's got people advising him in the back. He knows exactly where about he's going to go, what round, and to who possibly. I mean, they don't make those decisions, you know, sitting in a room like sitting on a freaking podcast with me and you.
Like me and you.
and me telling them what to
pontoons.
do. Yeah. Pontoon with some George's wiener sauce.
Listen here, Quinn.
Then do we take that $6 million or do we go? So he knows he has a good idea based on feedback he's got on where he's going to go, who he could go to. So good on him. Hope he does well.
I think he will do well.
He probably do the best that is those guys going in there trying to start. I don't. Those guys aren't starters, man.
And I'll tell you what, the draft process raises people up. Look at Zach Wilson. Like that dude was top 3 pick because he threw an 80-yard bomb in pro day. Quinn is like very, very good on those things. Yeah. His stocks can go up. I saw anywhere from late 1st round to top of the 3rd round.
That's I think 2nd or 3rd round. He'll get taken pretty early. I mean, the teams need quarterbacks.
Yep.
And the Rams would be a great place to go. Good coach out there, good system.
Rams would be great. I think the Dolphins would be good for him. I think San Francisco, if they were worried about Purdy, that would be a good spot for him.
God, Purdy's young though, man. He
is young, but are they going to give him the money? I don't know if they're gonna.
I think they are.
They should.
I think they will.
But I don't know if they're gonna.
I think they will. I mean, I think the Rams would be a great spot. I mean, even Seattle, sitting behind that guy for a little bit. I don't know. He'll go where he needs to go. I think he'll be okay. I wouldn't want to be the first 2 guys because I think they're going to set up for failure.
Yes.
To be honest with you, there's going to be so much hype on teams that suck so bad. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be them. I do have to bring up a story I did read on the massager. My boy, the massager.
Oh, nice.
Deshaun Watson. So, you know, he's got another...
he ruptured his Achilles again.
But evidently, right before around Christmas, he made a TikTok with his girlfriend. And they made it outside the car. He was dancing without the boot on. And the boot was like, you got to have the boot on.
Oh, so, breach of contract?
So it could be a breach. They might have a way to go in there and just kill that whole contract.
Oh, if you were the coach of the Browns, you would please get him out of here.
But yeah, evidently he's got a little TikToker out there and he's dancing with his girlfriend. And
that's not good.
No booty on there. So I have to keep an eye on that one, see how that works out.
Is that why they brought TikTok back from the band?
Just for him.
Just for him. Just to get the massager.
Get the massager out of there. That's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Interesting. I'm sure he was actually here, but he's supposed to, I mean, he has to be in the boot like 3 months.
Would you want, okay, so if you were one of the college, I think he's done. He's done in Cleveland just in general, right? So if you were one of these young, the situation in Cleveland really isn't that bad. The roster-wise is pretty good. They have Jerry Jeudy there, decent wide receiver. You have Nick Chubb if he's ever going to stay healthy. They'll probably end up getting another back this year, but they have a good offensive line for the most part.
They're not a bad team. They got good defense.
Like, that is not a bad landing spot for one of these young guys.
But for everybody that goes there, it's bad.
It's a black hole.
So for whatever reason, I don't disagree with you, but everybody that goes there, there's no savior.
But would you go there over New York or Las Vegas?
Man, I'm not a fan of Vegas. I don't think they have anybody. They have no players.
They have nothing.
It's just Cleveland. For whatever reason, it's a black hole, man. I don't know why or what happens, or I wouldn't go there. I would go to the Jets.
My God.
Or the Giants.
Oh my God.
I think I don't think there's.
I wouldn't.
I know it's bad there, but it just doesn't seem as bad as Cleveland.
I
And
think-
Cleveland has better team than those guys.
Yeah,
all three of those teams.
Stefanski 2 years ago was the coach of the year.
I know they have a better team. They have a great defense. I don't know what they do with quarterbacks, though. They screw them up, and I don't know why. I don't know.
When was that? When is the last Browns quarterback you can remember that you're like, damn, that guy's good?
Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, I can't really think of any.
Bernie Kosar was good. And before that, they had some guys. We're talking like a long time ago, though.
They have missed on a lot of quarterbacks.
They've missed every time. And I think they have a high pick this year. And if they pick one of those first two dudes, they're going to miss again. Those guys are going to
They're not going to. Cam, if you were going for anyone, you trade up to number one and get Cam Ward.
You would have to get Cam Ward.
Shador's not.
Shador is not going to do
He's
that.
accurate, but his arm strength isn't. And he takes so long to throw the ball. There's so many things you have to coach out of him.
It would not be. It would not be a good look there for him. And those fans would eat him up after a little bit. I think Vegas, I don't even know who the fans are in Vegas. Is it like gamblers that go there? And
No,
shit?
all their fans are in Oakland by way of LA.
I don't know. Is it like I'm there on the weekend to gamble and I'll just go watch a game? I don't know. Do they even have like actual fans there? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they do.
Yes, they have fans.
They keep moving all the friggin' sports there, but it just...
Yeah, my favorite thing is they were like, oh, yeah, MLB now. Okay, I guess. Sure, we're good, though.
They didn't even want it.
Yeah,
The mayor there was like, oh, okay, I guess we don't even want this shit here. You're interfering with my gambling, man. And as a player, I don't think I would want to be there. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure there's nice parts, just like anywhere.
There is nice parts, but it's just...
When you have that much money, it doesn't matter. You're going to live in a nice area no matter where you're
Well,
at.
that's true, but I don't know. Doesn't appeal to me. Let me just say that.
I mean, Detroit Lions all live in very nice areas outside of Detroit, which is kind of a turd.
Yeah. I'd rather live in Detroit than Vegas. Hate to say it.
Oh, man.
I know.
I don't.
Vegas is a great place to visit, but I would not want to live there.
I agree with that.
Okay. All right. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll see. I'm curious on the draft maneuvering.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. All right. Last thing I do want to, like, way too early predictions for next year. How are you feeling about teams? I don't know how much research you've done into the college football going on, but where do you think things stack up? Because right now, and I know Big G loves his preseason polls, Texas is polling at number one in a lot of them. A lot of them.
Because of Arch.
Yeah, honestly, it is because of Arch.
It is.
But if you look into the Texas roster, they're going to be very good. The biggest problem with Texas next year is going to be O-line. They're returning one of the 5 starters.
But they sign a lot of guys.
They have a ton of guys. And you have guys that played a lot this year.
And Texas is going to be up there. I don't know, top 5, I think.
Yeah.
With the portal, I don't know. It's hard to even tell anymore where guys are going to be. I mean, what about Miami with Carson Beck? I don't know that he's like the guy who's going to drag some team to a championship.
The story behind him is so captivating right now. Have you watched any of this? Have you looked at any of this shit? There's like people burning his jerseys in Georgia and shit because he's transferring. He declared for the draft, and then his girlfriend is on like the basketball team
down in Miami.
So they offered him $4 million just to go down there. He's posting videos and shit of him out on a boat hanging out with famous people.
So did Georgia not offer him to come back? I don't know.
Apparently, and this is all hearsay, but apparently Carson Beck was like a massive locker room problem.
Oh.
Because of his girlfriend.
Oh. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Like she controlled him quite a bit and controlled everything he was doing. So he was like doing stupid videos and social media shit inside because she does social media or some shit.
Okay.
And the locker room was like, hated him.
Wow.
Now, how true that is, I don't know. But
now he's down.
When you look back at like when they're playing and he goes to the sideline and nobody's coming over to like say, oh man, sorry you threw a pick or whatever. It makes sense.
Yeah.
A little bit more sense now.
Interesting. I don't know. Miami's probably a great place for him. He's not dragging them out of
What is Miami thinking?
But he's not dragging them out of.
Hell no.
He's a good quarterback, but he's not. To me, he's not like a tier 1 quarterback.
No.
So I don't know. That was a lot of money, and
Oh, I would take it too. I mean,
I would take it, but I mean, he's not going to be some savior down in Miami. If Cam Ward couldn't, I don't think he and Cam Ward's better than he is.
yeah,
So
yes, it's gonna be a rough year for him next year.
But I mean, if you look at the portal, I mean, so Penn State has their quarterback back. They have their 2 running backs.
Lost their wide receiver 1 though.
Lost wide receiver. Probably lose some defensive guys.
Yeah, they always restock on defense.
They're probably around the same. To me, they're always in the top tier of the Big Ten. Probably be there. It's always going to be them, Ohio State, Michigan.
Well, so my thought is Oregon kind of like missed their chance this year. They're losing a lot off that team.
So who do they got? Did they get a quarterback in the portal yet?
They haven't yet.
Interesting.
They were going after Ewers.
Interesting.
He
wouldn't have fit that. I don't think he would have been a fit
I don't
out
think he
there
would have
at
been
all.
good there at all either.
I
don't know if they have. I think they have some younger quarterbacks behind, but that he brings in transfer quarterbacks to throw. So I don't know. Honestly, I feel like they missed this year, and that was kind of their shot. And unless they spend $30 million,
well, the portal kind of it
reopens again.
So 2 quarterbacks in tonight's game, they're both out of eligibility, right?
Yep.
So they're done. So we're not waiting on them. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't know what big names are out there. And Oregon needs a big name if they're going to go for somebody.
Yeah. The other thing is with transfers, these guys are transferring to a place, not liking it, and then leaving immediately.
Yeah.
Malik Murphy just did that too. He transferred to Kentucky and then got the hell out of there and is now at Oregon State.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They voted on it. The timing of the portal is hot garbage. It's so bad. They talked about doing a 10-day spring one, which I think is smart. One opening. You can, obviously, once you enter, you come out whenever you want. But 10 days to enter the portal. One window. You don't get in that window, tough shit. You're on that. Yeah. I mean, there has to be some sort of accountability.
There does have to be something. You can't just keep and you know what? It's not real life. That's not how it works in real life either. I mean, you can change jobs, but
you'll never make more money changing jobs.
You can't keep moving, like go there for a week and decide you suck. So I'm going to go do. I mean, it doesn't work that way. So they need to fix it. So it's hard to start. And honestly, I don't know I'm sure Ohio. It's going to be the same teams that are always up. It's going to be Alabama, Ohio State, Texas. It's going to be the same shit team. Not shit teams, but the same teams are going to be in the top 10 as always are. I'm curious about Indiana because they have all transfers.
I'm curious about a place like Florida State, who their philosophy is just take transfers.
Florida State, they didn't work for them this year.
No, but they transferred in a whole bunch of guys this year again.
And Florida, too. I mean, Florida's probably looking to improve. I mean, those teams might be coming back, but they're not going to start the season up there.
Florida's going to be real good next year.
I'm telling you, they're not starting the season ranked high, though.
I think they are. I think the hype around Florida's huge.
Could be.
DJ Lagway's really good. I think there's 2 teams in the SEC that are kind of underneath those common names: the Georgia, the Alabama, the Texas. You've got South Carolina with Lenore Sellers coming back, and most of that team's sticking together.
And they're good.
They're really good. And you've got Florida with DJ Lagway. When DJ Lagway played last year, they were very good.
Yeah, Florida I could see definitely improved throughout the year. South Carolina I agree with. I don't know. It's going to be, I love college football. That's kind of the fun part of it.
Yeah.
But I don't like the moving around. So once it starts, that's good.
Yeah. Hopefully they kind of curb that. And then I know that they're talking about the schools being able to pay, right? And I don't know if you saw the athletic directors coming out and saying, well, 75% of the resource money that we got is going to go to football. Well, Title IX's coming out and say, hell no. It needs to be 50-50.
Yeah.
So there's going to be battles there. And all these big teams are still going to be dominating because the collectives aren't gone.
No, and they have a lot of money.
They do. Like Texas.
They're number one.
I love Texas. They have a shit ton of money. And they have a collective that's paying them that's not associated with this. And you're telling me that there will be a vote on it from schools, and schools like Ohio State, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, with all of their collectives are going to say, yeah, we'll get rid of the collective and just do this.
No, they're never going to
Hell
do that.
no. They're never going to agree with that.
None of the big schools will. Not just that. It's all the big schools are in the same thing. So, yeah, it's a mess. But once you open the door, it's open. There's no more going back.
Yeah, it's wide open right now.
I will say this, though. You're seeing, we did see, obviously, we're seeing Notre Dame and Ohio State in the championship. And I don't know, I'm sure Notre Dame's got their fair share of money coming in. But we did see other teams this year.
We did.
That wouldn't have been considered high dollar team. SMU was there.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, I don't think.
Boise.
Boise. They're not high dollar. The kids aren't going there for millions and millions of dollars.
No.
So that's good to see. Maybe it'll keep up doing that.
But here's the question, and I haven't looked into this at all. A place like Boise State, they tend to the people that go to Boise State actually want to be there.
Yeah.
But a team like Arizona State, where they got national TV and played well, do they leverage that into transfer for more money? Probably.
They probably can, and they're in a location, I think, where they could probably get money. I just don't. It seems to me it would be harder in Boise because it's a smaller area.
Over Tempe.
Yeah. Over somewhere, over Arizona State. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just feels that way.
Yeah. I just feel like those teams that are like one-offs, it's going to be different teams every year just because of that. The transfers are going to take all their good players.
Yep.
And then they're going to have to rebuild and find other diamonds,
Yep.
which is kind of sad.
It is sad, but that's college football, man.
It is, and if you're not doing it, you're not surviving. Look, Clemson's taking transfers this year. They have 3.
Had to. He's not doing a crazy amount.
He was getting forced into it because of the fan base.
Well, I'm sure his administration's telling him too, dude. You got it. Come on,
right?
We appreciate you, but we can't just lose either. So it's about winning,
right? It's 100% about winning.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of the way college football is now. They need to find a way to curb it.
I agree.
I don't care, even if it's not about the money side. It's the transfer. The kids should get paid for the amount of money that NCAA makes, that ESPN makes. The kids should get a piece.
But you have to put something around that.
But it needs structure.
It's not friggin' Wild West out there.
It can't just be me calling somebody and be like, hey, I'll come to Texas. I'll give you $10 million.
And that's kind of what they do.
That's what it is right now.
It's crazy. And you're 18-year-old kid going fucking, you're our age and going fucking 10.
Hell yeah.
I'm coming.
Hell yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Strap up, wear whatever colors you want, my friend.
It's crazy money. More than 90 whatever people in the U.S. even come close to making in a long, in their lifetime, some of them.
Right.
So,
they're 1% at that point.
That's
crazy.
It is crazy.
I don't blame them at all. I don't blame the kids at all.
No, I don't blame them.
I don't blame the kids' families trying to influence them into taking the money at all. That's going to happen.
Yep.
There needs to be structure from the adults at the fucking table.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen.
Never going to happen with the NCAA.
No.
That's why this whole breaking off and creating a league, but as shitty as it sounds, the Big Ten SEC merging into its own league makes sense.
Yeah. That's the major teams, but it's
sad. That would suck for college football though. That'd be gone.
Yeah,
college football would be ruined.
It would just be a semi-pro league at that point.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I don't like that.
All right. Well, that's my spiel. That's my college football spiel.
Spiely.
Spieler. The draft. I'm interested in the draft process for some of these guys. I think we're going to see.
That's going to be great, man.
Yeah. I think we're going to see some good stuff. I think there's some big name players that I don't think are going to do very well in the NFL. So
I would 100% agree with you.
I won't name names.
We won't. We already know who you mean, but we're not naming names because we're on the same page. All right. Can we finally get to Major League Baseball?
Yes. Bring up some baseball. Come on, hit me with it.
I'm excited as a kid with a new toy.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
We're getting close. We're getting close, man. We're getting close. We still have a lot of free agents out there that haven't signed.
Yeah, surprising.
We got a new one.
Bregman still doesn't have a home.
Breggy, Arenado's not signed, and they are actively trying to.
They're trying to trade him.
Yeah, they're not even behind the scenes.
They said it out loud.
We're trying to trade this dude.
Yeah, because they're trying to tear down and rebuild, which is crazy for the Cardinals to do a full rebuild like that.
It is, and it's also crazy to be so public about it. But it is
good for them. I mean, good for them.
And he has a no trade clause, so I'm sure part of it's trying to get him to budge.
Where is he from originally? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Your internet's not working for me, so I can't look it up.
Oh, mine's working fine.
Oh, that's nice.
So we had one signing here today. We have Anthony Santander signed with Toronto, the perennial bridesmaids. Toronto.
Not lately. God, they've been that's what I mean. They're ugly ass cousin in the corner.
Yeah, they don't. They're always names always in on guys, and they never get them. So they signed him to a 5-year deal, which seems a little excessive
for Santander.
But I think they had to say they signed somebody. So that's good for them. And so Bregman, Arenado, I think the Red Sox are looking at them. We just haven't had Tanner Scott signed with the Dodgers. Of course, the Dodgers got Sasaki.
So here's my question. Does there, and it'll never, ever happen. The owners will never, would the MLB benefit from having a cap? Look at what's going on in LA this year. They literally are just buying everybody.
I mean, they actually they have a cap, but if they go over it, they get fined. They take the fine every year. They don't care.
They're billionaires.
When
they don't
you have
give
that
a
much
shit
money,
about
they
that.
don't care about
right.
that.
It's like $2 million. Okay, that's 4 pennies for those guys.
Yeah, I agree. It is weird. I don't know. At this point, I mean, what would the cap be? You already got guys that signed $700 million contracts. I mean, what kind of cap is there now?
Well, I mean, it's a yearly cap, so they'd extend that, restructure those deals and extend them out. But I get it. No, I'm with you. I just don't. What the Dodgers are doing
is gross.
It is gross.
The
one thing I love about baseball, though, is that the Dodgers can sign all those guys, but there's zero guarantee that they'll. Like in NFL, if you get all the guys that are bigger, all the guys that are faster than everybody, stronger than it's like an 80% chance you're getting the Super Bowl. And MLB, it's like a 35% chance now the Dodgers make it.
Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers had a bunch of those guys previous to this year, and they were getting beat. So, are they always going to have a great record? Yeah. But it doesn't mean it translates into winning, a 5-game or 7-game series if they get to the playoffs.
Right.
And you're right. Some of these guys, they get hurt. I mean, they signed, what did they sign? They signed that kid from Japan, right?
Yep. Sasaki. They signed Scott. They bring back Trinan. So back into their bullpen stacked. Their starting rotation is stacked. I think they signed Blake Snell. They signed they have Glass now.
They have a great.
They have And who's coming back to pitch next year? Fucking Ohtani. Their rotation's stacked.
It is stacked, and they have a great team, and they have a lot of
in the middle of your order is Freddie Freeman, Ohtani, and Mookie Betts.
I agree. But here's the thing about baseball. All those guys, they're not all having career years every year.
No, they're not.
And so one or two of those guys are going to have a down year, which in baseball, 162 games. I mean,
I get that, but they have another guy right behind them who's going to. That's what I'm saying. Is like
they got a lot of talent.
There's for them to not make a run at the World Series again this year is a massive failure.
It would be a massive failure. I mean, they've spent so much money. The Yankees, same way. The Yankees spent a crap load of money.
They have spent a lot of money this offseason.
And they don't always get there either. I mean, they didn't even make the playoffs a couple of years ago. So you never know. I like baseball because it's a long season. A lot of things can happen. Injuries. You got to have the next guy up attitude, and you got to have the guy sitting on the bench that can do something. But I'm excited. We're getting there, baby.
Absolutely. Okay. Question for you. Power rank your top 5 right now without knowing where the rest of these free agents are going.
Well, guys, the Dodgers. I got to put the Yankees up there. Hate to do it. I'd put the Braves in there. I think the Braves are a strong team. Orioles maybe next. Might surprise you. I'm going to say a team. Yeah, I would say San Diego. I'm going to say maybe Arizona.
Oh man, they were so good down the stretch again last year, but they were so up and down last year.
They're not bad. I mean, who are yours?
Cleveland's in there for me. So
Cleveland's sneaky. They could be in there.
Dodgers, I think, are the clear-cut number one. Clear-cut number 2 is the Yankees.
Yep.
Honestly, it's 1A, 1B between those two teams. My third team, man, it's between a few teams. So my third team could be the Rangers, a bounce back next year.
Love to see that.
They have an amazing roster.
Love to see that.
On paper, they're very good. Milwaukee proved to us with all those young names that are going to be good this year. The problem with them is they just traded away their bullpen. So where are they at? So I don't know if I can put them top 5, but they're on the cusp. Atlanta's there, probably 3.
Atlanta's got to
just
be there.
with their rotation.
They got a good team.
And who they've got. I think that's 3 for me. I'm gonna put San Diego in my top 5.
Yeah,
they have their roster's too damn good. So I guess my top 5 would be Dodgers and Yankees at the top. The next tier is definitely going to be the Braves at 3. I'm putting 4 is going to be San Diego. And my number 5 team's the Phillies.
Phillies are always competitive. What happened to Rangers? You just said
Rangers. No, the Rangers. Yes, 5 is Rangers. And Phillies and Rangers feel very similar to me.
I think the Phillies are getting a little old. I think they need to...
They feel very similar to me, those two teams.
Now,
but one's on old and one's young, but they feel very similar.
I'm still... I think you have a good group there. I still would like to see Cincinnati do well.
I think Cincinnati is going to be quietly very, very good.
I would love to see that happen.
I really do. I think the Reds are going to push for a wild card spot this year.
It would be great. I'd love to see it happen. And they did pick up. Did they pick up Gavin Lux from the Dodgers?
Reds did? Yep. Yeah.
They got Tito Francona,
which is a great manager,
great coach. So I would, man, I'd love to see them do well. I'm going to make a prediction there. I don't think the Mets do all that great this year.
I forgot Cleveland in my top 5. I'm dropping out the Rangers and put Cleveland.
Yeah, the Rangers are.
The Rangers.
They're a could-be team,
but they're like
they have a lot of
loaded.
They have a lot of talent, but a lot of things got to break for them.
Cleveland's my 5.
Cleveland's sneaky. I don't doubt that one.
I don't get how they're sneaky to you, but they're not sneaky. They win that division every year.
They're not in a big.
It's not big market.
Big market, and so you don't really. Even this year, they just kept winning, and you're like, "Holy shit, they're in first place." How about your Astros? You're not picking your Astros. They're always up there.
They're old now.
Yeah, and they are starting to kind of give. Like I said, I think the. I don't think the Mets do much this year.
I don't either.
I think it's a shit year for them.
Sadly, they just spent so much money on one player. The owner of that team, man.
Yeah, I
don't understand what they do.
I don't either. And they have good talent, but I think this year was an anomaly. I think they had a good group. They all played together.
Lindor put that whole team on his back for 2 months.
He played well. And you got Alonso still sitting out there in free agency. I think he should have taken his 7-year, $158 million deal.
Is he a Boris guy too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think he ends up going back to the Mets on a 1 year, trying to prove himself again or something. Sadly, I like the guy and I think he's a good player, but there's just no market for him. I'm sure he really thought he'd be off the market by now. But.
So here's an intriguing team I'd like to ask you about, and it is out west. So we don't necessarily have the most coverage on them all the time, but Seattle's
always up there.
What are they going to... They have a pretty well-built roster.
They do.
The question is what the question always is with them. How's the pitching going to hold up? But they win games. Do well.
They always are in... They're never out of it. I don't know. I don't know what they do this year. I guess they could do something. They're always in the running. And I'm pretty sure at this point, you got to say that the Giants aren't going to stay down too long either.
Well, they just signed Verlander. They have Adames out there now.
Yeah.
But what else is on that team? Yastrzemski. Who else is on that team? Honestly,
Well, I don't know, but they don't. You just don't see them out of it very often.
No,
and they always seem to kind of jump up there at the end. I think we're pretty sure the Cardinals are selling, so they're rebuilding. The Pirates, good Lord, they just can't win. I don't know.
They get good players.
They do, and they just can't do anything. I mean, I don't see them doing anything. The Nationals, I don't see much. The Marlins, the Rockies. Who's
horrible? Who do you think's going to be your surprise team? If you had to pick one team, that you're like, man,
I think it's Cincinnati. I think it's the Reds. I would pick them in the NL, and in the AL, I'm going to go with. Man, that's a tough one. There's not a lot of strength there.
No,
past the top guys.
And we're not talking a ton about Kansas City, but they do have a really young, good core.
Kansas City could.
I just don't see Bobby Witt Jr. carried that team too. That felt very much like the Mets down the stretch.
I think Detroit can be good again. I think they got a good coach. I think they've signed a few guys. There's some talk about maybe Arenado going out there and some of those guys too. I think they're not done signing guys either, but I mean they could. But the one thing I love about baseball, man, and they got Glaber.
They do have Glaber. Yep, Glaber Torres out there now.
The long season, man.
Scooble 100% said, I don't know if I'm going to be here long term. Do you see that?
No.
The head of the article is Scooble mum on long-term future with Tigers.
Good on him. He probably wants a crap load of money. Should get it.
He should get it.
I don't know. It's going to be fun. I like watching it because there's always teams that run out really fast.
Yeah. And
then there's always a team who sucks really fast. And then sometimes they turn it or they just they're out of it after 2 months. It's done. I don't like. I'm curious to watch like the Athletics this year.
God, they were signing people.
They've signed a bunch of people.
Why?
But I'm curious to watch and see what they do and how they play.
Oh my God, if they make a run somehow and we're watching playoff baseball at a fucking minor league baseball field, that's horrible.
How about your team? You're Rays. They're not playing at their stadium either.
They would. The Trop will be ready before that happens. Maybe. Who knows?
Know. Might get another hurricane.
They might. Tampa is an intriguing team to me.
They're always in it. They are, but they're always 500 or
but
better.
They always have somebody you're like, oh yeah. Right? Christopher Morel is their big name right now. Right? Yeah. And you've got Yandy Diaz, but that's not a power bat. That's just he hits for average.
But they always win. I mean, they do win.
They do. Absolutely. I love every minute of it.
And they got Caminero, right?
They do have Junior, and he will have a full year. He's going to be their starter.
Yep.
Playing more. They have Brandon Lau back from back surgery, but that's a big problem. Would you screw up your back as a baseball player? Yeah. Man, it's hard to get back. So we'll see if he can ever hit like he did before. Their outfield is bad. Their outfield is really bad right now. Josh Lowe. That's it.
But they always do something. I can't wait. I'm excited. Spring training's almost here. Damn.
Josh Lowe, Johnny DeLuca, Jake Mangum, Cameron Misner.
Yeah, they need some.
They need an outfielder.
Maybe there's still a bunch of guys out there on.
They are, but they're not gonna spend the money on those guys.
No,
they're not until this whole shit that happened with. The Dominican massager.
Oh God, I know.
Until that's off their payroll, I don't think
they don't still pay.
Yes,
him.
They do. Well, I guess he's not. He's technically
he's being paid,
but on administrative leave. But they have to still have that money available.
God,
because if he's found not guilty, they owe him that money.
Wow, that's messed up.
Yeah, it's messed up. That needs the Wander Franco shit needs to be off their books.
Yeah.
Once that's off their books, they can kind of do what Tampa does. The only thing that scares me, I'm so happy that Kevin Cash came back for a year because he could go to any of these big teams and he will win. He
must like it there.
He will win with any of those bigger teams.
He's a great coach. I'm sure he's could make more money too. He must like it down there.
Has to.
I mean, that's the only reason he would stay after all this time.
I mean, as a coach, though, you're really out of the spotlight. your expectations aren't crazy high every year. I mean, I can understand why you would want to stay too.
Yeah, he's a good coach, though.
He is a very good coach.
He's a top tier coach.
And we saw what it feels like Joe Madden when Joe Madden was at the Rays, and then when he went on, he won a World Series with the Cubs. So I mean,
yeah,
I give if Cash doesn't make the playoffs this year, I feel like he's gone.
Could be. See what's happening.
We'll see. Alrighty, I am very excited. I think I saw middle of or end of this month that we're going to start to see full team workouts. Like next week, we're going to start to see full team workouts, get ourselves into spring training, and then we're back.
I like it.
Opening day in March.
I like it. Cool.
All right, Bunk. That is what I have for MLB, my friend.
Well, okay. I'm excited about it. That's all I had to be honest with you. I did want to start sliding into it, though. Did you get that? Sliding into it, baseball.
I got it, yeah.
Okay.
You also talked about sliding into pontoons and shit earlier, so
yeah, I know.
That was rough.
I'm a slider.
Oh.
We slide.
Yep.
And,
do your sliders have hot wiener sauce on them?
Come on, man.
Uncle George's hot wiener sauce?
I didn't get a picture. I took a picture of it.
You did. Put it up on socials. It looks exactly like chili.
It's not, though.
No, it's not. It's ground hot. The chunks of meat are ground hot dog and not beef.
Yeah, well, there's beef in there, too. It's mixed in with the beef. Just so you know.
The whole boiling a hot dog and grinding it, man. Use the hot dog water to thicken your...
That's pretty good. Hey, that's back from like the 50s. So that's a 1950 something.
So think about why. That was a sauce and necessity.
Yeah. I mean, right? It was I don't know, maybe he came up with it in the 40s. I mean, post-war, during the war.
Yeah. Everything's in a can.
I mean, everything's in the can. Hot dogs were probably lots of hot dogs. He came up with a formula, man.
They were
it's
called
good.
They were called wieners back then.
George's Hot Wieners. That's what it was. Kingston, New York, downtown. They were great. A little sweat, a little hair.
Oh, God.
She good.
Some extra salt.
You. I tried, man.
Some alfalfa sprouts.
Oh, God. No, there's nothing healthy in it.
Absolutely not. The first thing it says is grind hot dogs. There's nothing healthy in that.
I love it. All right. What else you got?
All right. I'm excited that playoffs start soon for hockey. Yes, we're getting close to hockey time. Basketball, it's still pretty hard to watch the NBA.
Let's just be honest. We're not basketball guys.
I watched a few games.
We can sit here and say that we
can. I'll give very uneducated opinions. We'll pay attention during the playoffs.
How about NASCAR getting started?
Okay, you can tell me about that.
All right. Since I got to be honest, at one time I was a big NASCAR guy.
You watched it when we were younger. You watched it a lot.
It was Jeff Gordon.
Why?
And
why did you like it?
I don't know why. It's kind of a weird thing. I just kind of started watching it. I like those drivers. I couldn't tell you two drivers anymore that drive.
Some of them are the same.
There's a few the same.
Logano's still there. Jimmy Johnson's still there.
No, not Jimmy Johnson.
No?
No, I don't think
Oh, the Bush brothers are still there. Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch.
You're a Bush brother.
If you ever say that to your own child again.
I don't know who's there. It's a lot of young guys that I don't know. So it's hard to follow. I kind of like their hats. Cool hats. Lots of good
They're
stuff.
Hideous. They're so bad.
On,
you have that
awesome.
stupid ass. You used to have that stupid ass M&M's hat.
Oh, I love
it. It was yellow. I hated that
Jeff
thing
Gordon's
so
hat.
much.
Oh man.
No, he was Wonder Bread. He wasn't M&M's. He was Wonder Bread. He had
Bread.
Yes, he was. He was the white car.
No, he wasn't. I don't know. I like the hats. You're like a beaming advertisement for whatever it's on there.
Yeah, it's too much advertisement.
Just think back in the old days, the Winston Cup was right. They were sponsored by cigarettes, so you could have a big friggin' pack of cigarettes on your head.
Yeah, you got the Marlboros, you got the Camels,
the Lucky Strike.
The Lucky Strike was the one, Mammy. The Cools with the K.
No, she was a Viceroy Long.
Oh, or the Virginia Slims.
The Virginia Slims, the Viceroy Long.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
But even F1 was sponsored by all those guys too, like Ferrari and Marlboro.
The money was all. That's where the money was. All right, I don't know.
Crazy
I don't know
to
what's
see it
going
gone
on
now.
with NASCAR. I'm not back in and out. It's interesting, but nah, not enough for me to spend too much time with. Although it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Well, hey, guess what? Golf's ramping back up.
Go, that's you. That's all you.
I
You're
know.
all golf.
But
friend.
on Tuesday nights, they do the TGL.
What is
You
the
have to
TGL?
see. You have to see this setup.
That's the Tiger.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
it's the Traveling Golf League or Tiger Golf League or something like that. It's Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy made this league. It's an indoor sim with a green, but they have these plates underneath the green. So whatever hole they're playing on, the plates move to change the undulation to mimic the actual green, and it rotates. So it's on a giant rotate. So say I'm hitting into a hole with a bunker right in front of it. Well, they'll rotate the green for my shot so that I have to hit over the bunker.
Wait, this is inside?
All inside. You have to see this.
Oh, my God.
You have to watch it.
All right.
It's amazing. And the matches so far have been awful because they've been blowouts. Tiger's team got blown out, but they shit talk each other and you can hear it the whole time, which is fun.
They're sitting inside doing this.
Yeah, but it's a shot clock.
Oh, my God.
You would like it.
All
You would like it. It moves faster.
All right.
They're shit talking each other.
I would like that part.
They have a what they're hitting off is actual grass that they're growing these 1 foot patches of grass and putting it inside.
Man.
That they're hitting out of a fake bunker. They're hitting out of real bunkers by the green. They're hitting out of the rough. If they have rough, they have grass that they've grown.
Wow.
It's awesome. You need to check it out.
I'll check it out. Before I make an opinion,
You need to check it out. They have hats too. Cool looking hats.
Cool hats. I like
cool
hats.
looking hats.
I'm a hat guy. Did I tell you I was a hat guy?
That's why I had to pitch the hats to you last so you would actually watch it.
All right, I perked right up. Hats. I like hats.
I know.
Fucking
But yeah, check that out. But we are getting close to the start of
real
golf season.
All right.
So really interesting.
We'll bring you in for that.
You know who my guy this year is, who I'm going to follow closely?
Ron Rahm.
Nope, that's not a real.
Okay.
It's John Rahm, not
Rahm.
Ron Rahm. Ronald Rahm here.
Hey, we saw him eat like a peanut butter sandwich, remember?
Cool.
Yeah. We were watching the Dell thing, and he walked by eating his peanut butter sandwich.
I don't understand what you went. Hey, we saw him eat a peanut butter sandwich. Remember?
All right. Who's your guy, man?
It was after we walked up that hill that was... we got to the top of the hill. You looked at me and said, we're making that trip once.
Yeah,
so when we go back down,
was
that's it, buddy.
Brutal.
At least the second year they put stairs in.
Yeah, that was better.
The first year when we had to that was rough.
That was hard.
Rough. All right. So, my guy this year.
All right, let's hear it.
Sahith Theegala.
Oh, God, man.
He's really good.
Can you find any more obscure people in the world?
He's really good.
God, just go with a regular dude.
He is a regular dude. He's top 10.
Never heard of him. It's not on the front page of ESPN.
He's not top 10 right now.
Okay.
He is very good.
All right.
I'm looking forward to seeing him play ping guy, as well as Max Homa. I like Max Homa.
God. Wow. You're brutal, man.
How?
Come up with some shit people. I don't even know these guys.
Max Homa's
Never heard of him.
number 3 to 5 in the world.
Not on my list, sir.
I guess Xander's number 3 now.
I think Xander.
Xander Schauffele.
I knew that Schauffele was.
Did you?
Schaffler.
Did you?
No, I didn't know.
Did you know that?
Guys. I'm happy you're here to bring us golf
So I'm here to bring you golf.
because I like it.
And disc golf. I'll bring you disc golf. That season's starting soon, too.
Disc golf. Okay, we can do that.
Hey, speaking
if
of
you're
disc
bringing
golf,
them, I'm bringing
listen,
NASCAR back, baby.
You can bring NASCAR back. That's
Okay.
fine. But think about this. Disc golf, how much do you think the earnings, the number one player in the world, earnings-wise, this is not a very big sport. So you would have to, I guess, from
golf?
tournaments, just from tournaments, not from his sponsorship.
$200,000. 225,000.
Very close. He had like 210 grand last
Say
year.
that?
That's just in winnings from tournaments.
Okay,
Those guys are starting to get like $1 million endorsement deals. That's crazy.
that's pretty cool.
To
It's a
throw a frisbee.
popular sport.
It's less popular than you think. It's starting to get very popular.
And then we got to bring Medium G in for dart throwing. He's a freaking
Absolutely.
dart throwing guy.
Absolutely.
What the hell?
If you watched any of the professional,
I like watching. They
what
got
the hell?
cigarettes hanging out of their mouth.
Yeah, what's
and-
going on behind? Everybody's hammered
Oh my
and
God.
screaming at them.
I know they're good though.
They're so good.
It's yeah. Anyway,
Friggin' darts.
we'll bring him in for some dart activities.
We set up that dartboard in your backyard on a cement wall and started throwing, and everybody missed. And Gary looked at me and goes, "Those are $80 darts."
Yeah. Here's the best part. He wanted to set it up inside the house because he said, well, I just set him up. I can. Nobody's going to friggin' hit the thing. I'm not having holes all over my wall. Come on, dude. Jeez. I think he realized when we went outside that wasn't going to.
When Mom threw it and missed the wall by a foot, I was like, "Oh man, this is bad."
I know, it was stuck in my deck and friggin' walls and shit. That was fun. All right, we're gonna get some. We got to get some stories from him because those are very interesting stories.
Those are interesting to say the least.
All right,
almost life-threatening.
I like it. And hey, as we're closing out here, I say we are working on some video stuff. We're going to have that up as soon as we figure out the technicalities of it, as I like to say. But we're getting close. We're very close on that.
We're very close.
And then we're also, I got to throw this out there, Pick. We're looking at doing a little Twitch thing.
I would love to see you do some Twitch.
We're getting that set up.
All right. So a little backstory. I play a lot of video games, right? And I'm pretty good at them. You play zero video games.
I played Pong and Breakout back in my day.
And did you even play like Centipede or anything like that?
In the pizza places I did. Oh but at home I was a Pong and a Breakout king.
You're going to see here some of the meanest things you've ever heard in your life coming from people.
I love it.
And maybe they'll give you some money doing it.
You know what? We're getting that. We're getting close to that. We'll let you guys know once we get that up too. You can join. I can't move. I'm suck at video games, the real ones. I can't move. I run into walls and shit. But I'm looking forward to the abuse because I will hand it out just as good as they can.
Yes, you will, my friend.
So, it's gonna be fun. So big stuff coming here this year. Right.
Well, a question to the fans: if you wanted to see us on YouTube as edited videos or as live videos, and you can interact with us, just let us know.
Yeah,
because we could do either. We could do either. We could do either.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we're good. All right. All right. If you're enjoying it, definitely leave us a review. Give us a rating. If you're not enjoying it, don't leave a rating, but just tell us in an email that you hate us or something, whatever. Send an email to the Bunk and Pick podcast at gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. And if nothing else, Bunkle.
Hey,
we'll be rolling balls.
And we're going to see you guys next time.
Have
same time.
One, everyone. Same time.
Same place.
Same bat time and same bat place.
Same bat time, same bat place.
All right.
Don't forget to eat your pontoons, everyone. See you time. Sweet dreams.